Okay, if you can hear my voice, say something in the chat. Obviously I'm going to have to wait a while for anyone to reply. Oh. I appear to be streaming correctly. Say hello, anyone who is in the chat. Okay, Strange Paradise can hear me. That's good enough. Sorry for the delay. Turns out I had the wrong stream key in OBS, and I only just realised it. But it's all fine. Just have to wait. Right. Let's see. What are we doing? First, I should introduce what's going to be happening. I'm going to try and compose something today. No idea how well it will work. I don't really have anything in mind, so if you can give me suggestions in the chat, I'm looking for suggestions throughout of what things sound like, whether they sound good, whatever. So for now, if you have a suggestion for a Thrive theme you think I should make, post it in the chat. In the meantime, I'm going to do the YouTuber thing, hopefully this works, of promoting my stuff. I have a Bandcamp with loads of music there. You can go, and some of them are paid, and you can buy music, so this one's £2 or up. This one's free. You can go buy and then put 0 in there. It works. So I would very much appreciate it if you would do that. And otherwise, I think we're ready to go. So be warned, I'm currently wearing a headset with a microphone on it, not my usual mixing headphones. So the sound quality on these is decent, but there is a difference to the normal headphones, especially in the frequency range, the kind of which frequencies it picks up more, and the spatial range of it. So I won't really be able to do very much in the way of intricate sound design here. But we'll see. We'll see how it works. It will still sound okay. Is my voice of a good volume as well? Can anyone tell me that? Just wait a second for someone to tell me. I'm doing multi-screens here because Cubase is annoying and doesn't let me capture it unless I have the entire screen captured. I'm having to, well, in a minute I'll be having to look at the chat on my phone. So, being very techy there. Volume is fine, could be a bit louder. I'll turn it up a tad. So yeah, I guess I should probably start. Hopefully, if I have things set up correctly. You should see Cubase about now. Tell me if you see Cubase. I'm going to continue as if you are seeing Cubase, and assume you are. Right, so I've currently got a blank project here in Cubase because I don't know where I'm going to start. The only thing I've done is add a limiter here to the output track because I don't want to destroy any of your ears in case something accidentally exceeds the threshold by a huge amount, which can happen. You can accidentally create like infinite feedback delays that destroy everything. So yeah, let's get started. I'm going to have a read through the chat to see what kind of suggestions I've had. Void beans, not sure where that came in. Hyperspace music. Desert Wasteland themes, I like that idea. Creature battling. The Ascension theme. I want to make an Ascension theme at some point. I doubt I want to make it here though, because it's something that would be quite complicated and I'd want to put a lot of effort into, because it's something important. You know, it's the final theme of the game, meant to symbolise the end, the completion of your journey. So I'd rather not do that here. where I'm liable to make many mistakes because I'm doing this live. So, no idea how this is going to turn out. No idea how long it's going to be either. I could be here for the next 4 hours or something. You can come and go as you please, all 6 of you. Right. I like the Wasteland theme idea, actually. It evokes something kind of mysterious, ambient, lot of kind of creepy sound effects in the background. So I'm going to start with some kind of distorted pad kind of thing, because I like doing that. Where am I going to get that? Let's go for a reactor, shall we? Sand sounds. That's quite hard to make. Sand sounds. Where do I find a good, like, simple but textured pad? I don't know what many of these do in too much detail. I like Carbon 2 though, that creates some interesting sounds. See, I've currently got my small MIDI keyboard connected. I could have connected the big one as well, but I forgot. And then I opened up Cubase and opened up OBS, and I don't want to close Cubase again to reconnect everything because I don't trust myself or the technology to work properly in setting everything up again. So that's probably not what we want. Let's see whether there's any presets we can work from. That has potential. It's a bit too clean for now, though. That sounded interesting. I'm going to add some effects onto it, though. Quadro fuzz is always good. There will be a lot of periods of just me not talking about much as I'm thinking, I'm afraid. Hopefully all 6 of you will be happy to stick with that. Let's see what happens if I do this. Hasn't really distorted it in the way I wanted. See, this one may work, but I know this one does produce some quite aggressive tones. That's quite good. I like that. I'm not sure what's doing the spatial changing here. Gonna have to, because I'm not sure I want it moving around quite that much. It's a bit too active for something that's supposed to be ambient. I don't know where it would be on here. There is a cheap way, and that's just to do this. Jesus, width of it. Also, I'm going to have to play lightly if I want it to be wastelandish. Maybe change. also kind of want it to feel a bit more distant, like it's you're far away. It's a big open space, a wasteland kind of thing. So I'm going to add some reverb. Get a big old room in there. And then send some of this. So the reason I'm doing this reverb on a separate track is so that I can send multiple tracks to it and it will sound like a reverb on the whole thing. That's a common technique to make things sound as if they're in the same space. You don't want like a big reverb on one. Well, sometimes you might, but in general you don't want a big reverb on one element of a track and a small reverb on another, because it would just create kind of a mental dissonance between them. You won't really understand them as being in the same room. I don't think this reverb is quite potent enough though. See, I want somewhere big and open. I will be taking suggestions from the chat if I'm not sure about things, by the way, and feel free to voice your opinions on what I'm doing. If you think it sounds terrible or something, we'll find out. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, the release a little bit. Too much high end on it now. I'm going to pull that down a bit. What sort of tempo are we talking here? Something slow and menacing. I'm gonna go 65. Xenomorphian wonders whether anyone else will comment, because he's currently speaking a lot and no one else is. If anyone else was here to begin with, maybe all those 6 people watching, they're just bots. They're not real. That's a decent motif there. Let's see what happens if I record that. And then we're going to do the secret thing, and the secret thing is quantize. The reason it's secret, it's not secret, but I feel like it should be a secret because it's the secret to getting anything you record to sound nice. Otherwise, it would just be a jumbled mess that's not in tempo at all. And yet, with the power of quantize, you can move everything to the nearest beat, and it will match up perfectly. For a sound like this, it doesn't really matter because it's very slow and there's a long attack and long release, but if you've got percussion, obviously, you want that to hit right on the beat. So you want to use quantize on that everywhere, basically. Having that linger at the end there sounds quite nice. May just mess with the sound a little bit, see. I feel insulted by that comment. Is it okay with you, Oliver, if I go watch Solaris videos for a while, waiting for this to become really odd levels of quality? Yeah, sure, if you want. Just someone do someone be here, please. I'm going to turn the mix of this down a bit. There's some, even without the pitch shifter though, is there? Contact random people. Maybe not. That's quite rude. don't go and spam their DMs and tell them to go watch this. Just go to this Discord and say what a fun time you're having watching me play with a sound. Because it's fine. I knew no one would be interested. It's just something I'd like to try. And an interesting way to get over creative block. So, by which I'm, well, the interesting way to get over creative block is have someone else do it for me. But, yeah. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to check something. Ooh. Right. Kind of a squeaky, resonant bit at the start of each note, and I'm not sure whether I want that. But I'm also not sure how to get rid of it. Trouble with having so many plugins is you lose the ability to navigate them. There are some I know a lot better than others, and I don't really know this one very well. I use it every now and then. It's nice for creating weird sounds, weird synth sounds. What you're witnessing here is a lot of what music composition and production consists of. It's just making small changes to things and seeing what they do, really. Serial Killer really likes it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to have a serial killer on my side. Volume down a bit. It needs to be a bit more flowing, a little more distant. Let's do this. More reverb. So what should we call this? I'm taking suggestions for the name of this instrument. In the meantime, I'll go and add a new one. I think it needs another one over the top. Should we do something synthy or something ethnic? I'm going to try something ethnic. I don't know whether it's going to work together with what we've already got. Let's see. Colin Brahm says he'll be back I'm really liking it so far, though. Thanks, because there's not really much to like, but yeah, thank you very much. And Siri is also good. I like native instruments, ethnic instruments. Trouble with this one is I need to adjust it to that. Do you think that could work over the top of what we've got already? Maybe. Let's turn the reverb off in here and add the reverb externally. I feel like this needs some delay, some echo to make it kind of creepy. Let's go ping pong. The theme you've made is kind of creepy sounding. That's what it's supposed to be. It's a wasteland theme. Flutes aren't creepy. Yeah. I raise you that. Okay. Could I even do this in a higher register? This delay needs to be longer. It's not a very good delay for it, is it? Feedback. Let's try that. I don't think it needs much of a high. Do we still have 6 people watching? According to this. Yes. Yes. 6 people, one of them being me, because I'm watching my own stream to see the comments. Is there any way in here for me to up the attack on this? Maybe if I turn it to the ambient preset. See that? Yeah, no, it's a sampled instrument. There's not really going to be one. I could try and do it artificially using a transient master. Ooh, some people see 8 people. Well, I don't. Yeah, good. That's a whole 8 more than I thought there would be. So. I don't know whether I like playing it in the high register or not. Okay, a question for the chat. Do we play it this high? Or this high? Do we play the high one? Or the low one? Tell me. Playing this stream along with a video of a desert game, and it fits slightly. Slightly. The low one. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, let's see what I can do with that. Don't think we need those. Do I quantize this is the question. Or does it work better if it's flowing out of time? Let's find out. Sounds like the Martians from War of the Worlds. Interesting. It does, I guess. I finally got around to reading that book recently. I never read it before. It surprised me. Very, very good. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's see what I can do here. Because I want the release to be as slow as possible, so it kind of fades out into the distance. Maybe I could automate the reverb to do that. If I could say kind of, not that much. If I kind of increase the amount of reverb it has until the end of that note. Good luck. This is the trouble with Cubase's automation system. It doesn't really let you snap to anything. If I want to go back to what it was before, it's got to be minus 0.6. And it's going to be hard to get this to snap to minus 0.6. Unless I want to change this bit very slightly just to be safe. Riveting live streaming here, guys, watching me watch some numbers change until I get them completely wrong. I want this to be the same as the one on the left. Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Let's see whether that worked. I think I want a different reverb. This church one isn't really working. I have a terrible tendency to just pick the biggest reverb I can, and that's not the way you're supposed to do things, but that's the way I do things a lot of the time. It's very useful. That looks quite big. It's not bad. Also, I realise this is currently 5 bars. I had it at 5 bars because this felt like a good fade out here, but maybe we'll change that actually. If I ever do something that you don't know why I'm doing it or what it is, please ask and I will be happy to explain, because I would like to disseminate my knowledge of music to anyone who's willing to listen. Again, this needs to have a longer fade out somehow. I'd better not, otherwise I'd have to ask 24/7. Well, you can ask. Don't know whether I'll have time to answer, but it's fine. It's not like I'm talking about much else at the moment. I quite like this actually. It's going well. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce that a little bit. Increase the volume of the reverb again. And change that. So basically there's more of a difference between the reverb at this point of the flute and the reverb at this point of the flute. Because I want it to be like whoosh. It's going out into a big space or moving far away or something. So I need more contrast in that. Is that sounding good to everyone? Also, we never decided on a name for this one. I'm going to have a scroll back and see whether I can still find the suggestions. Creepy desert funky noise. Bada bing bong. We'll go creepy desert funky noise. Let's do that. And because it is a synthesizer, and I like to colour my synthesizers green, it's green. Suggestions also for creepy funk. Okay, he wants creepy funk. Suggestions also for the name of this flute bansuri thing. Your suggestion 1. There weren't exactly many others. So come up with some flute name. This one shall be Reverb because yeah, it's just what it's called. Let's turn that down a bit. See, the thing is, because in this repeat we had the fade out of this one to interest us, and in this repeat basically it got the same thing. I'm going to try adding another instrument here once I decide what this one's going to be called. I like fluting intensifies, let's go with that. Fluting intensifies. Or would it be flouting? Flutist? Flautist? I don't know. I don't play the flute. I play piano. And there's no ambiguity of how you pronounce pianist. What instrument should I add next? I feel like something plucked in the background would work quite well. Oh, Untrusted Life is here. Hello. feel like I use native instruments too much. Let's try Spectre. Don't use this one enough. Some improvisation for you. What was I going to? I was looking for something kind of plucked. Did you know that Untrusted Life has a Patreon? Yes, I did, because I'm donating to it, and every month I see a bill in my transactions, and I'm like, wait, what's that for? Oh yeah, it's Patreon. That makes sense. It's Untrusted Life on his Patreon, and well, it was initially because he bought some of my music, and I thought, well, I should be a good chat pack and contribute to his Patreon. But because it keeps coming out monthly, I think I've paid him quite a bit more than he has me at this point. Don't worry, it's fine. What was I going to have? Bell. Ooh, I like that sound. I don't know whether it's going to work, but I like it. Let's wire it to the reverb. I think it's got some randomization element because it's not playing the same note all the time. I'm also going to move this. Should we move it left or right? Left or right? Go chat, vote. Let's do this the Twitch Plays Pokemon way. Left, right, left, right. Ooh. Ooh. I'll move it right for now. People want it left. Okay, we're going left. God, disobey me, why don't you? Let's see how wildly inaccurate I was with those timings. Trouble with this thing, I think let's see. Ooh, Untrusted Life wants right. Ooh. I love the right, but he chose left. This is sounding an awful lot like a political argument. I think we should stop before we start arguing whether right is right or left is right, and whether we need to redistribute the wealth or not. Let's keep it musical, shall we? Suggestions for this ploopy plucky instrument thing. I feel like we need some kind of background pad, something quiet and kind of noisy. Let's have a think. Could do that job. Also, anyone who can see the people counter on YouTube, how many people are currently watching? Because I think mine's glitched out and says it's always 6. We don't know. Some kind of pad in the background. I have too many instruments, it's too hard to choose. Pad shop. It's in the name. Let's go with that. Anywhere between 9 and 15 according to people viewing. Interesting. I'm glad to be having this much interest in something like this. It's going well so far, I feel. I like what we're making. I had the inspiration for this, by the way, from Ben Prunty, who does some music for FTL. And yeah, I love that music. And he does things like this where he works on tracks with, live streams them with people talking about them in the chat. And I thought, I could do that, except in a much more terrible way. So here I am. But it's an interesting thing to try. 15, nice. Nice, I'm getting there. I feel like I used this exact sound in a piece recently. I can't remember where. The Thrive theme is the best, man. Thank you. Shallow Seas is best. I see. The Shallow Sea theme seems to attract a lot of attention, which is interesting. Because it's one of my older ones, and there are some very amateurish things I did with it that I can see back looking in retrospect. So quite nice. Sounds pretty angry. I feel like I need to reduce the width of it though, to stop it competing with the rest of what's here. Oh dear, now I've just got the Requiem for a Dream chord sequence going. That's not great. A bit of reverb. Let's add some grunge, shall we? See what we can do. Maybe not that much. I'll keep the distortion in the EQ. Yeah, that works. Could add that at the beginning. Decide how prominent I want this to be. Also, did we ever come up with a name for this track? I'm looking for name suggestions for tracks. Come on. Step on it, everyone. Maybe that works better in a higher register. What's this a theme for again? It's a wasteland desert kind of theme. I think maybe Should we go? Yeah, I'll say it's a wasteland theme. Maybe I'll change the exact purpose for it later. Actually, I'm not going to record this in, because that would be stupid. I'll just be holding down the same note for ages. What I'm going to do is... that. I like this instrument. I think it worked quite well. I need to add some kind of movement onto this one though. What can I do for that? Oh, kind of... Ooh, I haven't used this much. That sounds kind of windy in a way. It's a bit too much. That's way too much. Let's not go with that. Don't know what any of these parameters do. Let's just try them out. The best way to get familiar with these sorts of things is just to turn all the knobs. Suggest names. Alien Serengeti. Yeah, it could work for that. I'm looking for names for this instrument, by the way, not the track as a whole. We'll come up with a name for the track by the end, but I'm just trying to name instruments. Currently have Creepy Funk, Fluting Intensifies, and whenever I end up naming these. It's a bit too much resonance there. What program am I using to compose this? This is Cubase Pro 8. If you want to get into music composition yourself, don't go for this because it costs like 300 quid. Well, maybe less now. I'm about 2 versions behind the most recent release, so it's a bit outdated, I guess. But yeah, if you want to get started, try something like GarageBand. If you've got a Mac, would be decent, because Logic, which is similar to Cubase, is like it's GarageBand on steroids, if you, in a way. So you can go with that. I started out with MuseScore, which is a notation program. Can I bring it up here? Yeah. In a moment. A little diversion. Hopefully won't affect too much. So yeah, this is the program I first used to compose things many years ago. The problem with it is the sounds aren't great, and you can't do all the complex mixing that you can on here. It's more for creating notation that the actual instruments will play. The instrument shall be Cyberboops. Okay. In capitals or... Yeah, sure. Cyberboops. Once again, it's a synthesizer, so we'll go with that. That sounds kind of demonic now. The thing I want to do is move the rest of this on a bit so that this has time to develop on its own. And I can use the amazing time stretching tool in Cubase to do that. It's very handy, that. So just imagine you're standing in the middle of an alien savannah with some kind of cheetah from another planet prowling after you. Or maybe you're the cheetah from another planet. You're prowling after prey in the endless wasteland. The scrub, the brush, whatever you want to call it. I think this needs more reverb. More reverb, always the answer. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Now we need a name for this one, the sort of distorted, angry, crushed pad thing. Okay, what the hell are we doing next is the question. First off, I want to make it so that this comes in a bit less aggressively. So I don't know whether I want to do a crude fade in or fade some aspect of the sound in, like a kind of a whether I fade in the distortion as it goes on, so kind of like this, or whether I fade in something else. I don't know what would be good for that. Maybe fade in the reverb. I don't do that enough, do I? Yeah, would that work? Let's try it. I'm going to try it. Wrong thing. Completely wrong thing. Send one level read. See, these are all the things you have to learn to be a music producer. Which buttons to press, mostly. Let's see whether that works. I like that. It still comes in too aggressively, though. I'm going to have to change something about it. As I said, I'm currently wearing headphones that aren't, because I need to have the microphone on here. They're not the headphones that are good for mixing, so I can't really tell exactly what frequencies need changing in the EQ spectrogram over here. So I'll go through it later if I ever finish it and do some more fine tuning. But yeah, I need to find some way of getting this to fade in. I don't like doing volume automation on tracks like this because you want to change the volume. Maybe you do something else, you want to change the volume of the whole track, and if you move it up and down here, it won't work if you've added volume automation like that. Let's see. What can I do? Could filter it. Filter could work. That sort of thing would work. Maybe don't start all the way at the top. Need to put this on 0. Come on. Yes, good. Usually your themes are very ambience oriented with a few exceptions. How exactly would it work? Will the music occasionally play an end? Do you mean as in general themes? Music changes depending on the situation. Yeah, I guess that would work. Like you'd have basically, depending on your situation, you'd have a list of themes that could play. So, say you were a communist civilization, there's a chance that the communist theme would play. There's also a chance that the generic civilization theme would play. Some of them would be more ambient than others. It would give hopefully quite a nice mix between different things. How's everyone liking that? Any suggestions for what to change in what we've got so far? Also suggestions for the name of this instrument? What was I going to do? Oh yeah, I had an idea. Excuse me for a moment, I've got to go cough. Right, I'm going to do what's the render settings on this? Settings, yes. I don't know the complete sync of pathways. Do that. And then what I can do with this is I can go audio process, reverse. Ooh. And we have a reverse flute. Which works quite well. I just need to decide what part of the reverb reverse, because I was gonna have it like fade in so the flute isn't quite so aggressive in its entry. Kind of like that. Let's see what happens. You can't really hear that, can you? Let's make it a bit louder. Maybe not. Maybe I'm going to have to do the whole thing and attach it end to end like that. Do something like that. Some very interesting live streaming going on here. Watching a cursor move across the screen. Let's look through what people are saying. It annoys Oliver for me to bring it up, but I think we need 1 or 2 additional tracks on the microbe stage. Well, what would you describe those tracks as being? Because I'm not entirely sure what they would be for. Please tell me more. Also, I'm hesitant to add more tracks to the microbe stage because we have released an official microbe stage soundtrack, and it would be kind of a punch in the gut to, well, not a very nice thing to do, to go and release more tracks for people to get. I mean, it's not much to work around, but it annoys me. It annoys me having to add more to that. No, I'm not mentioning the game. Kind of feels like Spores menu theme. Wait, what feels like Spores menu theme? Please expand. Wait, what's the name? Did anyone? Someone had a name for the track. Alien drone. Alien drone. Let's go with alien drone. So, right. Oh yeah, haven't saved this yet. Probably a good thing to save it at some point. I will do that, however, with this on there. So you can't see all my files. I hope, if this works correctly. What should I call it? I'll call it Thrive Wasteland Theme. Right. Anyone have any suggestions for what to add to what we have so far? If not, I may move on to the next bit, whatever that's going to be. So yeah, if you want me to add any other layers to that, or if you think it's good as it is, let me know. In the meantime, Blue Gecko says, random question, what did you think of the Mortal Engines movie? So for anyone who doesn't know, Mortal Engines is like my favourite book series of all time, hence why I have some Mortal Engines related music I made on my channel. I thought the movie was good. In some places it was great, in some places it was not so great. I'm kind of disappointed that it flopped so hard that everyone's just, anytime anyone talks about it now, it's only to say, oh, how big of a flop it was, how much money it lost anyone. And that makes me sad, because it had the potential to be so much more, and because the filmmakers didn't focus on the right things, I feel. Like the story of the film was not... They changed certain aspects of the story, and it made it worse in some ways. Some of the changes were good. I can't remember offhand, I just remember liking some of the changes. But yeah, overall, it was good, but I'm still disappointed because it could have been a lot better. And it's like, I came out of the cinema saying, it's about a 6.5 out of 10. and being disappointed that the most anticipated film of my life was a 6.5 out of 10. So, it's fine. The most anticipated film of my life is now Avengers Endgame, which I'll be seeing in 2 days, and that hopefully will not disappoint. So, add some more ambience. Good idea. What sort of ambience are we talking? Just sound effects kind of thing? Or let's see what's here in the pad shop. That's not right. I don't think that's going to work. It's definitely not going to work. I love the names of some of these instrument presets, by the way, like Panic at Beehive. My favourite one, actually, if I can find it, is Doctor Who, because you can do this. Wait, wrong register. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. That was an interesting diversion. Not sure why I did that. I just wanted to play some Doctor Who music. Where was I? Ambient camels. I'm not sure ambient camels are a thing. Let's find out what else is here. We need some. It's got to be kind of an animal kind of noise. Invasion of the alien toads? Probably not. Granular winds. Ooh. That could work in places. Kind of chop some stuff out. Stock camel sounds they use in Doom. I think I'm alright. Maybe I'll have this panning around. Where's the auto pan when you need it? It's a bit too fast. That could work. If I once again throw a load of reverb on it. Reduce its volume a bit. Tell you what, I will call this track Ambient Camels, even if it is not Ambient Camels. It's also a synthesizer, so it is green. some horns somewhere in here. We need some big strong brass in the background. Let's try some. What do they have available in the ethnic libraries? Would that work? I don't know. Probably not. It's a bit too clacky. We need to put that in somewhere. I don't know whether we're putting it in now, but we'll have a go. Just a second. Ooh, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to talk to someone. Alright, as I said, we need to put this in somewhere. I'll give it a go putting it in here. Panic right. Panic right. As always, send it to some reverb. Don't know whether you want. I'm also noticing, because I'm live streaming this and having to run the sound from the microphone through here as well, there is a noticeable lag between noticeable lag between when I press a key on the keyboard and when I hear something. So if I ever play something wrong or to the wrong time, that's my excuse. Let's see where I can fit this in. I have no idea about those timings. Small reverb anyway. Yeah, that doesn't work at all, does it? I like the sound, just wasn't playing the right thing. That. Oh well. I'm having trouble fitting this in. The sound. Maybe I'll try a different one. Again, nice sound. I don't know whether it would work in with what we've got already. I said I was going after some brass. Maybe I'll go with the bog standard good old French horn. I like French horns. I feel that works. I think I need to make it a bit louder for it to come through properly. What are people saying in the chat? People saying Untrusted Life should be making music. You can give it a go. The bopping kind of ruins it. That's the metronome. I had that on so I could record it properly. Oliver, I made the menu. I haven't actually heard that menu track from your roguelike. I need to give it a listen sometime. And if maybe suggest my own services if perhaps you're in need of more music. Yeah, let's see. I like that. I like those French horns. Someone come up with a name for the French horns, please. Give me. Try not to make it too offensive if you're going for a French joke. Yeah. Let's see what's happening next. So what my current thinking is we've got this. It's currently a 5-bar pattern because I'm letting it fade out in a 5th bar. Usually you would have patterns in 4 bars, so from 4 to 8 here or from 9 to 13. I'm thinking we switch it from a 5-bar to a 4-bar in the next section to create some more movement and kind of remove these sort of, I don't know, these fade out bits at the end, which will get old after a while. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe add some percussion as well, just kind of percussive hits in the background. Nothing too aggressive. People want the French horns to be called a doot da whoop. Let's go with that. Doot da whoop. Yeah, go up to someone in an orchestra who plays the French horn and say, "Yes, please play your doot da whoop for me." Right, what's it going to do? Just going to copy this over, but remove the extra bar at the end. Maybe shorten this because the release is going to go into it. What can I do with this? I'm going to change it up a bit. Whoops, still have the loop brace on. So the trouble with this one is it's got random note values, so it's not being consistent between them. Untrusted Life has got to get ready for class and such. Goodbye. Thank you for staying around. I'll be here for a bit longer. Let's see what I can do. I should also continue with the alien drone and the ambient camels. Because who doesn't want ambient camels? Let's figure out. I said I wanted some percussive hit of some kind. Let's figure out what I can do to that effect. No, what am I looking there? Someone suggested a percussive instrument I could use here if you have intimate knowledge of ethnic percussion. No, I'm not doing a drum beat, I'm just doing like... That works. If I had a massive amount of reverb onto that, that could work. Let's mix it up. Let's use some scissors. So yeah, massive amounts of reverb. Check. Maybe reduce the velocities of this a bit. I don't know. The trouble is everything before here is just so flowy and free that you don't know where the timing is, and it's difficult to add something in that's quite rigid for this timing. I'm considering removing this actually. Maybe it's run its it's run its part. That works. Definitely works. Let's see, what can I do with this? Pan them out a bit further. I think they've got a bit too much high end. Sorry, I'm not being a very entertaining host right now. As always, ask or suggest things in the chat and I will get to them. That's way too little high end. Maybe I need to split them up actually. So the high djembes and the low djembes. And then I can remove the low end from the high ones and the high end from the low ones. That works. I'm thinking kind of a brushy thing as well somewhere in here. Let's see what we got. What are these? Huh, never used these before. Not what I was thinking of though. Maybe not. Hold on, I know where to find these. Orchestral percussion. So let's try some Asian percussion. That was nice and atmospheric, right? Let's see. Full reverb. Captain McDurp would like to know what's the current idea for this theme. It is a wasteland / savannah-ish theme kind of thing. I'm not sure how well it's sticking to that, but we'll find out. This is what we have so far. That kind of works, right? Does it work? Please tell me whether it works. And also suggest names for these three new instruments, the drums. I think we need some delay on here, some texture. I just want to see what happens if we copy this over here. I like what's going on here. It's atmospheric. Which one of you was that hit? This one. This one is the one that needs to be on the beat. All the rest may not need to be. I'm going to iterative quantize them. Anyone want to say something in the chat? Anyone still here after all this? I don't know whether that crash hit works actually. That's better. That's nice, that works. Just one moment. Hey, well, I don't know. I was just asked to say hey, by Captain McDurb, but that won't be a true delay because I did not see the message immediately. So yeah. I saw your, yeah. Anyway, let's, I'm still looking for suggestions for these 3 instrument names. Please tell me. Tell me what they are. I'm going to listen to it while I have a think about what comes next. We need more of a lead into this percussive hit. Don't know whether to do that now or later. I'll give it a go now. What should I have? Any suggestions for what instruments could smooth the transition a little bit? Because I'm not sure. Maybe some kind of synthesizer. Let's look in Pad Shop again. Pad Shop's always good. Yeah, a bit too synthy. Nice sound. Not what we're looking for. Build up of tick sounds. I guess that's the tick sounds. That counts. Also need to work out. So what chord am I going to hit here? Because we're still kind of pedaling on the G minor. So that would imply I need either a D minor or a D major moving into the G minor. Actually, we've stated the F here. That is, I don't know, I guess that chord could be interpreted in many ways because it's not a full chord. More like wood sticks. Wood sticks could work. Maybe we have both, we lay them on top of each other. And then kind of have that fade in rather than coming in properly on the beat. Let's try that. Yeah, welcome to the riveting world of music production here. What kind of fade in should I have? I'm feeling some kind of interesting filter. Fade in. Yeah, definitely fade in. Do I filter up or down? That's always the question. I think filtering down works a bit better. And then continue to filter down into the next bar so it goes away, even with the delay there. That's not really much of a fade in, is it? Oh well. I'll just fade in the volume as well, why not? As I said, I don't like doing volume on the track itself. I kind of like to use other methods, like using the pre-gain here. See whether that works. Now I don't like the note it's on. Let's try B flat. That looks a bit better. Maybe keep it running. I don't know, it needs some resolution. Let's go for the resolution. Perhaps start fading earlier for the volume. Perhaps, if that works. No. That works. I'm happy with that. And then if we had like clacky sounds over the top of this, well, it's a clacky sound already, but actual ethnic clacky sounds. Let's see what we got. Wrong one. Crin, weren't they? Will need to have its volume. I'm also going to pan these. I haven't panned anything in a while. Right, let's see what that sounds like in context. I'm debating whether to add a melodic instrument over the top of here, like some kind of I don't know, some kind of reed playing the main line. Maybe a synth reed. Yeah, I haven't had a synth in a while. It is a synth-heavy piece, after all. What's going to be good for that? Prism. Prism's always good for synths that don't sound like synths. Ethnic flute. Ooh, this could be interesting. Maybe not. We've got an ethnic flute already. Well, I got my idea for my next house track. What else have we got? Nah. As I keep saying, welcome to the amazing world of composing and music production. Everyone, you're getting a front row seat to the creative process, which doesn't work very well. Let's see, have I got anything here that could be interesting? These are all third-party ones that I've found and downloaded elsewhere. Ugh. As I said, there is a delay between when I'm playing on the keyboard and when the sound is heard. So that's my excuse. Anyway, that's not what we're looking for. I don't know whether I'm going to find anything like what I want. Oh, everyone's freaking out because Untrusted Life has found his wallet. Congratulations! No, that's not working. I don't know. Maybe I'll go back to actual sampled instruments rather than synths. Let's see what we got. This one. Not that one. Do we really not have any like big ethnic horn kind of things? Melodic instruments. Anyone here? That could work. That could work. Let's get a chromatic mapping on that. You know what? I'm going to go back to good old Halion Sonic, which is the default instrument plugin for Cubase. And a lot of the time its sounds aren't great, but some of them are okay. Let's see what we have. Didgeridoo. Let's try didgeridoo. Stop lying to me, that's not a didgeridoo. That's a synthesizer pretending to be a didgeridoo. Okay, at lower registers it's okay, but nah, maybe not. See, a lot of these sounds are kind of basic and plasticky. I'm not a big fan of that. Let's see what else we got. Are we still doing the desert theme? Well, it's the Wasteland theme, or desert, because we already have many desert themes. I'm not feeling it. Any suggestions from the chat of what I should add next? Because I'm at a bit of a roadblock. Are we ready for a plucked instrument? Are we? That doesn't work, does it? Ooh. Ooh. That sounds alien. That's maybe work. Okay. Send it to a buttload of reverb. Some slight pan. I have no idea what the melody would be in this instance, though. That's the thing. Maybe I could copy this over, see whether it works in this instrument. I'm going to change instruments again. I've decided I just want a basic orchestral wind instrument like a clarinet or something. Clarinet. Needs a bit more anger. What have we got? That's not the right sort of anger. I'm talking distortion. Let's see what I can do with this. I haven't used Guitar Rig yet, have I? I do this thing where I just add Guitar Rig as an effects plug into something, choose a preset, and it suddenly makes everything better. It's a bit lazy, but we'll see what happens. That's a bit angrier, maybe a bit too angry. I need something grating to make it sound like it's very rough. But not necessarily something distorted. Let's see, what can I do here? That could work. Or maybe it couldn't. I don't know. One moment. Right. That's it. That still doesn't work. That kind of does. It needs more anger though. Let's add some amplifier. Not that much amplifier. Now, I really don't know. Maybe I can up the intensity on here. And that's the vibrato intensity. What am I doing? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I like where it's going, I'm just not sure what to do next is my problem. I've been going for a good 2 hours, I've only just realised. So, I don't know. If anyone's still interested, if anyone's around, I could keep going on this, or I could try and start something new. Maybe something a bit more upbeat and synth heavy, that maybe will inspire a bit more interest from people. So, say now on the chat whether you want me to continue working on this, do something new, or just stop outright if you're mean. And yeah, in the meantime, I'll just put this on loop for a bit, while I think about what we could possibly do next. I'm feeling like moving on to something new that's a bit faster and more upbeat. Not sure what form that would take. We have a lot of space themes already, but I'm thinking something spacey. I want to do something very synthy and kind of funky. I'm going to bring up a new file. I think I'll keep working on that and see whether I get anywhere, but doing it under the scrutiny of everyone here is a bit intimidating, so maybe I'll try something new. Okay. Someone suggest a part of the game that could have some upbeat synthy music that we don't have something for yet. Maybe spaceship editor, tech editor. We don't really have any tech editor music, do we? I like the idea of that. Untrusted Life keeps telling me to look at what I said on the Discord. Okay. I'm looking at the Discord now. I don't think microbe stage music would be of upbeat nature is hard to make because it's. I don't know. I like the aesthetic we have with the microbe stage right now. Honestly, we'll discuss it later. I don't want to do that now. Microbial chase music. I don't know. The trouble with the microbe stage is you'll be moving in and out of chase situations so quickly that it's not like having a single theme over the time. You'll just be switching themes all the time, and it's kind of hard to know. I don't know. We'll talk about it later. Right now, I like the idea of a tech editor theme. Where should I start with that? Let's go with some synths. That's a bit angry. Maybe not. Since I started a new project, got to put a new limiter on the master channel because otherwise all your ears are going to die if I do anything stupid. That doesn't really work, does it? Let's see. I've suddenly thought of something better. We'll shelve the tech editor idea for now. I'm going to go through some of my unfinished pieces of music and see whether anyone likes the sound of them and would want me to work on them a bit more to get them somewhere near finished. Yeah, let's start. No, not. What did you do that for? I'm currently battling with Cubase behind the scenes right now. Let's see what's here. As it loads. I think this is the right one. Talk amongst yourselves. It's loading all the tracks, loading lots of things. This is a big project, this. Is that the right one? Yes, that's the right one. Good. Alright, so this is... if anyone remembers the track I posted recently that ended up being the Thrive Democracy theme, that was made for someone who wanted like music done professionally, and I approached them and went to try to make that and attempted that one, and it didn't really work out. This was another attempt I made. It didn't really work out either, but it's still pretty good. I want to use it for something. So if people like what this sounds like and have any ideas for what to use it for, then that would be a good use at this time, I feel. So yeah, that's something I have waiting in the wings for me to complete and use somewhere. If Usama Bajaj wants to know what happened, we finished with that Wasteland Desert theme for now. I'll probably move back to it at some point later. And I'm just showcasing current themes that are unfinished at the moment, and I may end up doing something too, just to see whether any of them have merits, whether people want me to work on them. Do people like the sound of this one? Suggestions for what it could be? Plains or desert theme? We have many plains and desert themes already. A strategy theme, that could work. I like the idea of that. Yeah, so that's one example of what we have. What I have unfinished that we could work with. Something. I can look for other ones. Yeah, I like it too, which is why I keep coming back to it, but I can never figure out where to go next with it or what it could be used for. Let's see what else I can bring up. Also, it was noticeable on here as I was listening that there was a lot of bass in these headphones compared to my normal headphones. Let's try this one. This one is definitely not a Thrive theme, but it's just a fun thing that's halfway done. And it's going to be an interesting thing to listen to, I feel, once it loads. There you go, you can all see my wallpaper now, the T-Rex, as it's loading. Whoosh. Sounds the track had an underground cave-like vibe to it. Could be a cavey thing. Now, the trouble with this one is it. Whoa. Right. Let's see what happens when I play this one. This was my attempt at making vaporwave. You get the picture with that one. Yeah. Trouble again, I can't figure out where on earth this is going to go. I don't envisage that being a Thrive theme of any kind, but it's still one of the best things I have that's unfinished at the moment. Send it to Electronic Gems. I think you actually need to be some kind of respected musician before you can do that. We'll see. Yeah. Basically now I'm just showing you my back catalogue of things I've never released and seeing whether any of them are worth releasing. What else do I have here? Yeah, I'm just padding for time now. I don't know what I'm going to do. There's this one. If it would open properly and not be stupid. Sorry. Thrive. Oh, Untrusted Life has got to go. Goodbye, Untrusted Life. Thank you for being here and supporting me and arguing me about the micro stage soundtrack. So this one was kind of like an idea for an ice ocean, yeah, ice ocean theme. So it was like if you're on a rogue planet and your ocean is cold and you're drifting out into the cosmos. So that, yeah, let's listen to this. This bit is a bit boring. It's supposed to be ambient, okay? It's So yeah, that's what I've got so far for that one. Yeah, it's very floaty. Again, it's just difficult to know where to take it. I'm going to go back to the one we started with, because I think there's not really much more I can do today. I feel I've exhausted my creative ability in front of people. Thrive Wasteland Theme. That's not the Thrive Wasteland Theme. What are you doing? It's just an empty track. Thrive Wasteland Theme. I'm a big fan of your hitting rewind on history track. Wondering if you had any more tracks in that style. I don't know, really. Do I have anything in that style in my currently stashed away? I'm not sure what you mean by that style, other than kind of ambient ethnic stuff, which is what I was working on today, in a way, with what we ended up here. So yeah, that's the sum total of today's work. It's a bit choppy in places, but it's nice in general. Blue Gecko asks, am I planning on doing another live stream? I could do. If people have enjoyed this, people will be around for another one. I'm not going to have as much time over the next few days, though, because of revision and exams, which is why I did this today, because I had a day off and I decided to do this, and it was fun. So yeah, that was making a track and showcasing a couple of the tracks I have in production that I've not really found anywhere to go with. If you particularly like one of those tracks I showed earlier, then tell me and I'll see whether I can work on it a bit more. Otherwise, I will do the advertising thing of showing you, look, I have music you can buy, or in the case of this one, just download for free, because you can. It's a name your price one. You can put as much money in as you want. So this one is my old portfolio of stuff that was just a collection of all the good ones, all the ones I considered good from several years ago. Then I had this album. Look, I've been listening to this album every day for the past 2 weeks, and I still haven't gotten tired of it. That's a glowing endorsement if I've ever seen one. Thank you very much, Daniel Battery Stapler, whoever you are. Yeah, there's that one. And this one's another album that I released recently. This one has Thrive themes in it. And this one is a collaboration I did with my friend who was singing. I wrote the lyrics. And yeah, if you want to support me, go purchase any of those for any amount of money. This, as I said, this one's free. You get that for how much you want. Otherwise, actually, oh wait, I should probably tell you where to find this. Should I put a link? Yeah, I'll post a link. Hold on. Uno momento. There. Right, there should be a link in the chat now to where you can look at my Bandcamp and buy music. Otherwise, any more questions? What would you say would be the general genre for the Wasteland theme? It's ambient, definitely. Kind of ambient, tribal, ethnic, but also synth. I find putting my tracks into genres quite difficult. Yeah, it's been fun doing this, an interesting experiment. I hope you had fun, as much fun as you can have watching me play notes and think without saying anything for large stretches of time. To anyone listening back, hello, hi, as well. You're a traitor for not joining me live. How could you do this to me? To everyone who has joined me live, thank you very much. And I guess I'll say goodbye now. So goodbye everyone who's still here in the chat. Thank you for coming. Maybe I'll do this again, or maybe I won't. Who knows? I'll finish that track at some point. Can't promise when. But you will know that you had input on it, and that will make it the best music in the world. So, goodbye, everybody. and the end will come shortly.